bro.
Yep. Detonated remotely. And so to that point, in addition to the two devices that we recovered out of his vehicle, there were receivers for those two explosive devices with the devices. And then on the shooter himself, when he was killed by law enforcement, he had a transmitter with him. Now, I do want to add one important point here, is at the moment,
Welcome back to the channel, everybody, where we cover true crime, mystery to the missing. Since the terrible tragedy that took place on July 13th, where former President Donald Trump nearly lost his life, along with 3 others who were injured, with one sacrificing their life to save his family, more and more details emerge since that infamous day, and how this was a colossal failure on the part of Secret Service and a breakdown in communication and security. 20-year-old Thomas Crooks was able to outsmart the government by sneaking past them and gaining access to a rooftop with a clear line of sight, and nearly succeeded in his diabolical plan to assassinate Donald Trump. But after Thomas Crooks was eliminated by the counter-sniper team, the team then went to investigate the rooftop where the shooter was located. Here is newly released footage of them running to the building, gaining access to the roof via a ladder, and they would eventually begin investigating the crime scene. During early reports, a picture was released that showed this device laying close to Thomas Crooks' body. This was rumored to be some kind of detonator or transmitter for a bomb. We would also learn via the committee hearings that Crooks had 2 bombs in the trunk of his car, which was apparently parked somewhere outside the perimeter of the rally. So what exactly is this device that was laying next to Crooks' body, and how does it work? After doing a lot of research, I found exactly what this device was. This device is a long-range RF wireless remote control with 12 channels. That is why there is the buttons 1 through 12. This device can send an RF signal up to a distance of 5 kilometers or 3.1 miles. So could this device actually send a signal to a bomb nearby and activate it? The answer is absolutely. In a nutshell, this device is like a garage door opener, where you have your remote with a button and a receiver, and by pressing the button on the remote sends an RF signal to the receiver, which then activates whatever's connected to the receiver. This remote control that Crooks had is the same thing, except you can technically activate up to 12 things with this particular remote if they are properly hooked up to a receiver. And he would have been able to activate something up to 3 miles away with this particular device. It's scary to think that Crooks could have caused much more damage and loss of life with the 2 bombs in his car and another bomb apparently at his home if they were somehow activated. But according to reports, they claim whatever Crooks had built regarding the transmitter and bombs, they wouldn't have activated.
we've seen more sophisticated and less. I would say these are relatively, again, keyword relatively crude devices themselves, but they did have the ability to be detonated remotely. And so to that point, in addition to the two devices that we recovered out of his vehicle, there were receivers for those two explosive devices with the devices. And then on the shooter himself, when he was killed by law enforcement, he had a transmitter with him. Now, I do want to add one important point here, is at the moment, it looks to us, again, ongoing review, and I can't say that too many times. At a moment, it looks like because of the on-off position on the receivers, that if he had tried to detonate those devices from the roof, it would not have worked. But that doesn't mean the explosives weren't dangerous.
I do wonder if Crooks had the intention to set off the bombs right after the shooting to create some kind of distraction and then attempt to flee via his bike during the commotion. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Please be respectful. If you enjoyed this type of breakdown, please smash that like button. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Consider subscribing if you're new to the channel. If you would like to support this channel, there are many ways to do so in the description below. And thank you so much for watching.